Black Power, Black Beauty, Black by popular demand. This is Black's History Month, a 28-day celebration of Black exploitation films. Today's movie holds the record for the longest title I've probably ever had on Black's History Month, the Bango Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. That's a mouthful. It's also probably the most star-studded, at least for this year, starring Billy Dee Williams, James Earl Jones, and Richard Pryor, among a bunch of others that I'll get to in a few. Bango Long, as I'll be calling it from here on out, was loosely based on a book of the same name and is a fictional story about a Negro League baseball team who gets free of their oppressive team owner to travel the country and strike out on their own to make more money, a practice that was known back then as barnstorming. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not really a baseball fan, and I know very little about the sport or its history. But I do know that the Negro Leagues are historically unrecognized and underappreciated. I learned more about the league researching this movie than I ever did in my entire life, and Bango Long remains the first and one of the only movies to ever even cover the era, which is a shame. But anyway, back to the movie. Billy Dee Williams plays the titular Bango Long. His character is loosely based on Negro League pitcher Satchel Paige, and his friend from an opposing team, Leon Carter, played by James Earl Jones, is loosely based on Josh Gibson. Together, they both decide to leave the teams they play for after an accident causes one of the players to lose his ability to speak. He was a bit of a loudmouth before that though, so it's up in the air whether this was accidentally on purpose.
Oh my lord, oh my. Let me go get my money. God damn it,
the owner of the team, Salison Potter, played by Ted Ross, who was the lion in the movie The Wiz, is an asshole and could give a damn.
Somebody push a broom or dig a grave or two, man.
All I got's an opening in the choir. Rainbow's voice ain't what it used to be.
So it should have came as no surprise when Bango and Leon round up some of the best players in the Negro Leagues and take off to form their own team and make money away from this slave-like environment. And the team name? Well, it's the Bango Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings, of course. Billy Dee Williams is the highlight of this movie. He's all full of positivity and sunshine throughout the entire film. Absolutely nothing can take this man's shine. Everything he does is for the betterment of the crew, and he's motivated by the fact that he just refuses to fail, because failure means going back to the league, and it comes across more like he doesn't want that for the other guys than for himself. James Earl Jones as Leon is of course the voice of reason, and they balance each other out well, because in most cases, Leon doesn't want to participate in Bango's shenanigans, but somehow Bango always finds a way to talk him into it. Their relationship is infectious, and you can't help but smile at their interactions. The movie is primarily a comedy, but it goes back and forth between the comedy and the drama. With Richard Pryor being in the movie, you knew you was going to get some kind of comedy, but he's more subdued than you might expect. His best parts are when he's traveling down the road with the now mute Rainbow and trying to explain to him how to calculate batting averages, but he himself doesn't know how to do it.
What you gotta do is the number of times a man's been at bat and got a hit. Divide that by the number of times he swung. See, I've been at bat a lot, and I swung a lot. Let me see, 75 into 100? No,
That would give me a batting average of 2.
I couldn't have a batting average of 2. Nobody could have a batting average that bad, could they?
He goes back and forth with himself in multiple scenes like this, because of course, Rainbow can't talk. Or when he's pretending to be a Cuban because he thinks it'll help him hustle his way into the majors.
Buenas noches, senora. Can I buy you a drink?
The movie is filled with this type of comedy, and whatever drama it tries to throw in is usually diluted with some type of lightheartedness as the punchline. Be on the lookout for Carl Gordon and Ken Foray as Mac and Honey, two of Salison Potter's henchmen who he sends after the All-Stars. Gordon was Pops on the TV show Rock, and this was Ken Foray's first film, 3 years before the Day of the Dead. This is also kind of a Wiz reunion, because it also stars Mabel King, who played Eveline alongside Ted Ross in that movie. In this movie though, he constantly insults the out of her.
Right? Yeah. As an owner, Skylar DeWitt was weak and he was dumb. As a man, he was even dumber. He proved that when he married a plate of pork.
which is a better meal than you ever ate, Sally Potter.
You could use a little starvation, you behemoth.
Now the league ain't got no room for no 9 teams.
That's a problem we ain't gonna have to face, blubberpuss.
It also stars Tony Burton as one of the All-Stars, and Stan
Ready? Yeah. I'm ready.
Shaw as a player who the All-Stars recruit while traveling. Even if you aren't into baseball just like me, the movie has a lot for you. It's full of charm and just good-natured fun. The All-Stars eventually realize that they get way more attention and therefore more money when they clown around. So for most of the film, they clown around kind of like a Harlem Globetrotters type team, a behavior that was legitimately called clowning back then. I also learned that some of the scenes were shot in my hometown, so that's kinda cool. It's just one of those movies that you can enjoy when you want to take a break from the usual elements from this era. Yeah, it has some language, but it's tame. Yeah, some of the jokes are offensive, but aren't the best ones always? And even I have to applaud the movie for how it handles racism. Usually, it's in your face in these type of movies, but in Bango Long, it's implied, but not really stated at all. Bango Long is definitely the most recommended of the movies from this year. It's funny, charming, and a showcase for future big stars in the industry. Where else are you going to see Lando Calrissian and Darth Vader playing baseball together? Bango Long, it's a home run.